crisis shines a light on gender inequities that have existed in the United States for a long time, and it highlights the reason why the Women's Fund of Rhode Island is working on systems change. It's now time that we make changes for the better so that we can address those inequities and make sure everybody has access to safety and health.
Listening to fellow women's issues is what led me to organize Rhode Island Women in the Trades. I met Nellie Gorbea at one of my union meetings. She was very supportive and very happy that someone was actually trying to organize women in the trades and speaking up for women in the trades and wanting to see more women in the trades. If you believe in God, it was God sent, right? Because everything was just right on time. Nellie introduces me to Kelly. She told me about the Women's Policy Institute. I'm like, this is what I need. These are the tools for my toolbox of advocacy work. Because here I am, I'm talking to everybody. I'm going to all these meetings. I'm asking everybody to talk to me. They are supportive. They are listening. They're engaged in the conversations. I love everything that I learned in there.
I wanted to do everything I possibly could to make the world a better place, and specifically my community a better place and a safer place. That's why I joined. I needed tools, I needed information, I needed networking to get that done. I learned a tremendous amount at the Women's Policy Institute, but it was not really just the knowledge that I gained that I found most beneficial. I got to meet a group of empowering, compassionate, smart, hilarious women, and that has enriched my life in so many ways.
I don't know that I pictured myself being part of this. I genuinely didn't know that there was such thing as a policy institute for women. I was pleasantly surprised to find out that there was, and have to sort of believe in yourself and believe in your uniqueness and what you could bring to the table, even if you don't think it's something that will be monumental or significant. It might be, and it probably is. It's investing in the future of our politics and the future of our government and the way that laws and policies come into play, but it's also investing in the future of women and empowering them and their decisions and their choices. So I'm very proud to be part of this network.
It's inspiring to see so many dynamic women in the state involved in policy change. I'm a lifelong learner. It's important for me to always engage in professional development opportunities. I now have so many new skills that I can take with me into the classroom. I can incorporate them into my curriculum. And I can now share these tools, share my experience with my students to really empower them as the next generation of leaders to play an active role in policy change.
Being a male ally to me means being there for the women in my office, to make sure that they're given every opportunity that I'm given, that when they speak, people listen, that no one speaks over them. When I look at my 12-year-old daughter and my 9-year-old son, I can't imagine for 1 second that Jenna would not have the same opportunities as Christopher. So I want to do my part to make sure that happens.
But when you look beneath the surface, when you look with a really keen eye, you see that a lot of that subtle opposition still exists. And that's all the more reason why we need to be not just conscious of it, but actively working against those forces that either create barriers or obstacles to women assuming leadership roles. Here as an administration, and I'm really proud of so much good work that's happening, and that's in no small reason because we have such amazing women in leadership roles. I am so encouraged by the number of women who are beginning to run for office. Having women in these leadership positions and having their voice at the table absolutely shapes the kind of policies that we prioritize and pursue.
You see men making decisions for women without actually consulting with them or having their voice at the table. So men and really all of society could benefit just by having that equity. It's our jobs to be those stewards of change and to educate people. If men don't do that as male allies, we're contributing to all the injustices and the lack of equity. We have to be the ones who are having these conversations and who start these conversations. We can't be reactive. We can't wait until there's a case of sexism in our organization, or we can't wait until all the women in our life have a direct impact. We can't wait for that. We have to be the ones who are the ones initiating those conversations that are often difficult, but we need to do it because it's the right thing to do.
You can support the Women's Fund of Rhode Island in a number of different ways. We have a giving page on our website at www.wfri.com/giving. We need, as a community, to come together for a more proactive, multifaceted approach towards addressing these concerns. And your support of the Women's Fund of Rhode Island will help us to do that.